just wanted to share, I think, is probably some of the easiest soft pull credit cards that you want to go for. All right. Now, here's the thing about it. One of the banks, I think, is still a hidden gem. It's not nationwide, but the thing about it, I remember this bank. And the reason I remember this bank, because my uncle was this pastor, right? And so, like, he was terrible with money. He would, oh my God, you're talking about somebody terrible with money, but the problem wasn't that he was terrible with money. The thing about it, he was trying to rescue everybody, and he loved ladies, okay? I'm gonna just put it out there, you know. But the thing about it, whenever he needed money, he would always go to this here bank, right? And he would go and write him a check knowing he didn't have any money in the bank. And he would like calculate it to the science of when he can actually write a check to this bank and get money, right? Even though he didn't have any money in the bank, and the banks was giving money every time. And it was so interesting. I'm like, wow, you know, what's up with this dude? But here's the bank, all right? So the bank is Regions Bank, all right? Now, most of Regions Bank is like a Midwest, East Coast, down south type of bank or whatever, right? So they're not out here or whatever. But my uncle would just write checks. Whenever he needed money, he know he didn't have no money in the bank. He knew how to write a check, and it goes to the bank or whatever. He'll get the money, and then, hey, when his money would come in, he'll pay it back or whatever. But it was just a terrible mismanagement of money, because he had all these overdraft fees. Now, the thing about it with Regions Bank, so that you all know, in terms of like soft pull credit cards, one of the credit cards that I would get if I was a member of Regions Bank, and they pull TransUnion, one of the credit cards that I would definitely get is their Life Visa. Now, here's the reason why. With that Life Visa, it's 15 months on balance transfer and purchases. Now, the interesting thing about this is that if they used to like send you an offer in the mail, even though the credit card says 15 months on 0% interest on balance transfer, they would also send people out an offer for 21 months of 0% interest and balance transfer. So for you guys that are like maybe are members of Regions Bank or whatever, put a comment below. Let me know how long you've been with Regions Bank. Have you gotten this card? Did you like the card? Did they offer you more than the 15 months? Let me know in the comments or whatever. But that's like, it's almost like a hidden gem that not too many people talk about, but it's a community bank. So it is a second tier bank. Now, what's happening is that like with the business lines of credit and the business loans, they're kind of tightening up on it. But on the personal side, like I said, they pull TransUnion. So that's the first bank, right? Then, if you are a member of American Express, now I've seen so many people go to town. I'm not big on American Express as a new card. The reason is because they can become very conservative when you first join. Now, when you first join American Express, you're gonna get your Experian and TransUnion, but the cards you want from American Express would be your Blue Cash every day, because that gives you 15 months of 0% interest on purchases and balance transfers, okay? So that would be the top card, and then the other Blue Cash card as well. So those would be the two cards. Now, the good thing about it, many of us know with American Express, once you in, you can apply for multiple cards without getting a hard pull. Now, I'm gonna tell you a key thing. Whoever you're banking with, when you sign up with American Express, make sure that you sign tie that bank in when paying your credit card. The reason is because they steady do like soft pulls to look at the credit file and stuff like that. And I'll tell you something else. A lot of people, they want to go after the American Express Gold and Platinum cards, right? And I get it for status or whatever, for points or whatever, but just keep in mind, because those are charge cards, even if you spend $1 on it, you maxed out the card. If it goes over into the next cycle, it's like your card actually done maxed out, even if you spent $1 on it. So you have to be very careful with getting these charge cards with American Express. Now, they do have a payment structure built into the cards. Like, say that, okay, American Express gave me $20,000 on my Platinum card, right? And you can say, okay, I'm gonna spend about $5,000. And so what they'll do with that $5,000, they'll let you break it up over 6 months, okay? And so you can treat that $5,000 like a revolving account. But if you go over that, then your charges, your monthly charges of paying the card off in full, that will kick in. All right, so just be careful with that one. Now, another card that I would tell you to go after is the Wells Fargo Reflect. All right, now here's the thing about it. With the Wells Fargo Reflect, they are a FICO 9 Experian. Now, the reason I like this card is because it is 21 months, 0% interest on balance transfers and purchases. But wait, it gets better, because say that you start out with Wells Fargo and they give you a limit, you can actually call in and request a higher limit without them doing a hard pull on your credit as well. So you can do the pre-qualify to see what you get. And then if you don't like that, once you accept the card, you can ask for a credit limit increase. And it gets better, because with all of their credit cards, they usually will send you out convenience checks, okay, on your 0% interest. So you can actually take that money from the credit card, transfer it over into your checking account. Now, what this will do, it will have a negative impact because you're maxing out that credit card. But at the same time, say they give you 10, 15, 20,000 and you need that for a startup investment. You may try to buy a car or something like that from Toro, or you may be trying to rehab an apartment or do your flip or something like that, Airbnb flipping or something like that. Then this can give you some leverage, right? Or you may be in the market, in the stock market, and you're trying to do some day trading. So it gives you access to that cash to do that, right? So that's definitely one of the ones you can consider. Now, another pre-approval is usually PayPal, okay? Now, PayPal is through Synchrony Bank, all right? So it's a pre-approval. Now, sometimes they usually are kind of conservative in terms of the amount of money they give you, because they may start you out with something less than $5,000. All right, but you can actually do a pre-approval soft pull on this here card as well. Now, let's talk about Navy Federal. What's up with Navy Federal? Navy Federal says that you can do a pre-approval soft pull, right? Now, here's the thing about it. You have to do it through the app, okay? Once you become a member of Navy Federal. Now, the card that most people want to go out there is that flagship card, right? Because it's up to $80,000. I would not go after that card. I would focus on the Navy Federal Platinum card, the Navy Federal cash rewards, and the rewards card. You can go after the Navy Federal American Express card. That's okay too, but I wouldn't focus on the flagship card, because here's the thing with Navy Federal. Once you up a certain amount with that flagship card, so you can transfer all of your other balances over to that flagship card, but once that flagship card hits closer to 70, 75, all right, here's the thing about it. Then now when you try to apply for like other credit cards, you're going to get like very low limits, okay? So you have to be very careful. So that's the reason I tell people I would not go for that card. I would actually go for the other cards, all right? Now, you also